Hey there, good looking. Unfortunately, if we don't address things, we get slower and weaker as we age. So that means we need to work on our power and our strength. And this workout has you covered. We are going to hit both. And then we're also going to finish this off with a arms and core finisher. So listen, for equipment, please grab what you consider are a light, moderate, and heavy pair of dumbbells. For reference, I have 10s, 15s, and 20s. And then optional, one yoga block. We're going to elevate our feet or our foot on one exercise. So if you don't have a yoga block, maybe a step or something similar. But again, that's optional. All right, let's go get warmed up. All right, before we get started, if you like to track your fitness with a watch, hey, press start now. For reference, I chose the HIIT setting on my Apple Watch. All right, we're gonna warm up down on the ground and work our way to stand. Starting with our core in a dead bug position, knees over hips, arms straight, draw the belly button in, and we wanna have a little bit of lumbar curve and then just maintain that curve as we slowly lower one arm and opposite limb. Breathe out as the limbs lower. So we've got a lot going on today's workout, different sets, different times. You're going to love it. Breathe. Here we go. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Robot arms for me, feet hip width apart and close to the hips, and push the hips up, squeeze the glutes, lower down. So we want to keep this rib cage and hip the same distance as we lift. Sometimes we can get into a habit of using our low back muscles and really opening and flaring the rib cage. So I want you to think sort of knitting them in and holding that position, and then really focusing on getting the glutes to do this, not the hamstrings. So even if you need to maybe place your hands on the glutes to make sure those are the muscles firing up, sometimes tactile sensations are really great feedback for us. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Onto all fours. Sit yourself back, as far back on the heels as it feels comfortable for you. Thread one arm through and then reach up, look up. Doesn't matter which arm, we're going to do both sides. That would be funny if we just did one side, wouldn't it? We're sitting back so that we don't do the motion through our low back. We do it through our shoulder and T-spine. Last one. Release, other arm. Thread it through, bring it up, look up, reach up. Last 2. One more. Excellent. Wrists under shoulders, knees under the hips. Let the low back and sag belly comes to the floor. And now push the ground away and tuck the tailbone under. Just warming up into the spine. Last 2. One more. Neutral spine. Come off the hands for me, please. Take one leg in front, tuck the back toe under, and drive to stand. Feet hip width apart. Alternate back for our lunges, as you do on that standing. Sometimes we need assistance, but I'm hoping when you stick with me, we'll get to a point where we don't. You take that back knee as far down as it feels comfortable for you, opening up into the hip flexor, waking up the hip joint, and then getting those quads and hammies fired up further. Arms are coming up, thumbs are going to the wall behind you. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Come to side for me. Just step out this direction, push the hips. We're going to stay with this direction. Toes, knees, hips, shoulders to me. Working in a lateral plane now to get into the outer hip and inner thigh. Hip hinge here. 2 more. Last one. Beautiful. Other side. So we're going to start this off with power drills. So that means some speed. I'll start with a low impact on some of them and then build the high. You can choose where you want to be. It's 20 seconds of work, 3 rounds. Last 2. Last one. Beautiful. Hand, heel lift, or add a little bit of hop. Last 3, 2, 1. All right, we got 20 seconds before we get busy. Light pair of dumbbells in your hand, unless you're a beginner. Then no dumbbells. We're moving into a jump squat, but before we get there, we'll do a squat and heel lift. Shoulders hip width apart, facing me. Pretend you're on a piece of newspaper and you're trying to split it. Squat, heel lift. So we want a bit of speed with this, please. Again, get rid of the dumbbells anytime. This feels good for you and you're okay for hop. And then we reset. Reset. Last 2. Last 1. Woo. Place those to the side. I want you to grab your moderate. Just one for me. Bring it in between the knees so feet are wide. Zip up, snatch it up. Other hand, zip, snatch. So we're going to use those hips to get the dumbbell up there. Slight hip hinge. Good. The heavier the weight, the better you're actually going to get this move. If the weight's too light, you're going to end up just kind of doing a bicep curl and a shoulder press. It's not. It's hip, it's power, it's press. One more. Beautiful. Place this out of your way. We're just going to take it side to side. We'll move this into a speed skater for 20 seconds. But this would be your low impact, okay? Feel safe here? Great. Want to up it? Land on one foot. Power it side to side. Use the arms. Slight hip hinge. There we go. Now we're moving. Breathe it. Excellent. All right. Your heavy dumbbell, or if you own a kettlebell, grab that. We have a hip hinge happening. Same thing. We're using the glutes to swing our dumbbell up. Hold on to the head of it. Elbow soft. Dumbbell high in the hip pocket there. High in the triangle. And again, use the hips and then just come to stand. So it's really not a low back move. It's not much of a squat. It's a hip hinge. Power into those glutes. Come on. Last move, we go back to dumbbell squats in 3, 2, 1. Woo, there we go. Just 2 more rounds. Let's get that sucker out of our way. Go back to those lights. Or no dumbbells. You can squat and heel lift, or you can squat and jump. Ready? Remember, with jump training, we do want to slowly work up to it. So if you haven't done it before, make sure you're doing it with no weight. And it is very beneficial for those fast twitch muscle fibers, in addition to bone density. Last one. Excellent. Grab that moderate. Another power move. So remember, we start here, okay, and we're going to use the hips to get that dumbbell up. 3, 2, 1, it's hips up, and then other arm. Ready? Let's go. Good. So hinge, hips, boom. It's like I'm making a line across my body here. Now I'm going to look up. Perfect. Speed skaters coming up. Good job, you. Dumbbell down. Make sure it's out of your way, though, okay? I don't need you tripping over a dumbbell. So this is our low impact speed skater. This is where we want to be. This is where we'll stay. If you want to bring it up with me, side to side, make it athletic. Big hop, soft landing, one leg. Yes. Good for balance here, isn't it? Yeah. March it. All right, let's grab the heavy or your kettlebell. We're high in the triangle here. Holding on to the end. Use the hips, swing it. Up. Elbow soft. Beautiful. Let's go. 20 seconds here. Don't let go of that dumbbell. Just to shoulder height you. Working power here. Heart rate's getting up there, isn't it? Core, shoulders, glutes, hammies, hips. Good times right here. One more. Yeah, best time. All right, fun around, crew. Jump squats. You can weight yourself or not. It's your workout, your choice. Squat heel lift, or join me. It's the last set. I'm gonna see if I can get a couple more reps in than I did the previous two. Really burn out those quads, why not? One more. Woo, baby. All right, moderate dumbbell. We've got those snatches. And again, we do want a little heavier weight on this guy. We hinge, zip up, dumbbell goes up. Kind of on the letter X. So once it starts getting to my shoulder, boom, I flip it up. Bend knees, hip hinge, come up. One more. Excellent. All right. Speed skaters. We can take it side to side. If you're doing the low impact, still land on that one leg, okay? And you can pick up the speed a bit or drive it and plant. Breathe. Yes. Oxygen is good. This is good for ankle strength too. Right? You ever twisted your ankle? You might be more prone. Find that you're more prone to twist it again. I think some of it too is previous injury, of course, but then we tend to baby ourselves. So we got to strengthen. Get the body back to tip-top shape. Grab that dumbbell or kettlebell. Give me a swing. Up. We got quick water after this. We're moving into our strength circuit. One more. All right, dumbbell down. Woo. All right, march it on the spot. Grab some water. Keep moving those feet though. We're gonna switch up the time and move into that strength portion now. I'm gonna grab some water as well. So listen, we're starting with our first block is lower body block. So it's 3 moves for the lower body. 40 seconds of work, 3 rounds. We have a squat pattern and then a bridge hinge pattern. And that's where you'll need your optional yoga block. For the goblet squat, see if you can really weight yourself up. All right, I'm going to attempt to hold on to 2 20s in the center of my chest. It may be an epic failure, but you'll be here to witness it. Or it may be just beauty and grace. All right, let's get set up. When we do a goblet squat, that means our feet are wider than shoulders, and now our toes are going to turn out a bit so that when we bend those knees, they're going to track with the second toe. Our upper body is more upright on a goblet. Whew. All right. Well, look at that. Grace is my middle name. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Take it down. Chest lifted. Good. Breathe out. We're not looking for speed here. Now we're on the strength portion. So we have to switch gears, right? We're speed and power for the last 10 minutes. Now we're strength. You're probably looking anywhere between 10 to 12 reps per exercise. Last 2. One more. Woo, all right. Grabbing onto your yoga block, or whatever you got to lift your foot up. If you don't have anything, don't worry about it. 1 moderate dumbbell. Let's place the right foot on our block so it's a foot elevated. Bridge. Dumbbell resting on the hips. We're not going to worry about this left leg. Push through the heel, lift up. So that heel's still close to the bum. If you start to feel it in your hamstring on this right side, then I think maybe your block's a little too far away. So just move yourself in closer. And then we got our hands so the dumbbell doesn't roll down and smack us in the face. We want to keep that dumbbell resting on the hips so it's your glutes getting the work. And once again, that left leg bent, straight, whatever you want. Just don't swing it. That is going to assist the lift, and we don't want that. Woo! All right, other side. So I wanted to give you something where we had a break from knee flexion, which is what happens when you squat and lunge. And this is a lovely break, don't you think? Our glutes are burning out. All right, we got that heel close to the bum. Other leg now. Press up. Good. So left side working now. And you may notice a difference in legs. This is why we do a lot of single leg drills in my workouts, because we all tend to have them, especially if you play sport. You're going to be stronger on one side and therefore try to play on that side more. So kind of catch-22, isn't it? But now when we can get in the gym, we can do these unilateral drills to really make each side work on its own and independently. Woohoo! Time. Holy moly. All right. We're going to put that stuff to the side. Come on up to the goblet squat. All right. For our second set. So it's 3 sets total. You do what you want for weight. I do want and encourage you to go heavy though. Feet wide, toes turned out. Chest lifted. Drop her down. Push up. There we go. Smiles on. You push play, you're doing your best. That's all you can ask yourself. That's all I ask of you. I'm trying to go down each rep so my elbows touch the tops of my thighs. Again, that's a pretty deep squat, so if that doesn't work for you, you go a depth that feels best for you. Whew, all right. Back to those one-legged bridges. I start on that right side again. So if you've got something that you're using to elevate that right foot, set it up, heel close to the bum. Now, how is that moderate weight feeling? If you can go up, please go for it. Otherwise, let's go. Again, that leg that we're not working, that left one, we just don't want to swing it. But other than that, we're just kind of going to ignore it. So if it starts to get needy and starts swinging, you just tell it to stay put. It'll get some attention in about 40 seconds. Woo! All right, let's move the block over, other foot on now. Whew. Enjoy these 20 seconds of rest in between. All right, get yourself set up, dumbbell resting on the hips. Other leg comes up. I like a bent knee with it, but you play around with it. Press up, driving through that left heel. Oh, you can always tell when I'm struggling, hey? I don't talk as much. I gotta focus. We're almost there, crew. Breathe, and there we go. All right, we just have one more round. So we'll place that off to the side because we will need it again. Coming to stand, I know, up, down, but there's another workout for you right there, right? Working more function. 1 or 2 dumbbells. Toes out. Stance wide, chest up. Final round, then we grab some water, and then we'll move to an upper body block. Once again, we want to keep the torso a little more upright. So that's why a wide stance helps. So different positions with your feet. Just going to put more emphasis on different areas of your legs. So it's a little bit more into the hamstrings, glutes, inner thigh. And narrow stance squats, a little bit more into the quads. One more. Whew. All right. Bye-bye. 20s. Okay, so right leg, single leg bridge. Heel close to that bum, please. Leg up, dumbbell on the hips. Press, lower down. No swinging of that left leg. If you want to coordinate the breath, it would be the exhale as we lift the hips. Breathe out, hips come up. There's a lot of weak glutes in the world. This is why you do a lot of glute training with me. If you ever had knee issues or hip issues and went to a physiotherapist, whew, other side, I bet you $1,000 that they tested your glute strength. All right, heel close to the bum, because unfortunately, weak glutes is a huge issue for hips, low back, and knees. All right, left leg now is the working leg. Press up. So if you have a hard time really getting your glutes to fire, that warm-up drill where we were kind of, we were feeling our glutes, for lack of a better way of saying it, is a great way for you to know, am I contracting my glutes? Because sometimes we are, and we're not even aware of it. So, and I would rather have your hands than somebody else's hands on your glutes to make sure that they're firing up. Woo! Awesome job, you. We get a break and get rid of that yoga block. We actually are not going to need it. We get a minute here. As mentioned, we're moving into an upper body block now. First move will be back on the ground with our chest press, and then we stand for the next two moves. Our chest press are some bigger muscles here in the pecs. We've got the shoulders, we've got the triceps. So I'm going to try my heavies, my 20s. You see how you feel, okay? It's the same idea. We have 3 sets, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest in between. So let's get ourselves down. We've got whatever dumbbells we're using on our thighs, and then we just simply lie back. Back of the arms hit the mat. We slide them up so that the elbows are in front of the shoulders, wrists are straight, and knuckles are pointed straight up to the ceiling. Back of the neck is long, and then breathe out, press up. Really control it on the way down. If you go to a gym where you have option for a bench press, that's with the long bar and the plates, that's great, and you could probably load up a bit more. Why I like dumbbells, though, is it really works our shoulder stability, which unfortunately can become, unstable as we age, creating a host of issues. Last one, on the shoulders. So that's why we do a lot of dumbbell training, and it's just easy to have dumbbells at home, isn't it? All right, I'm going to keep my heavies again. We have a hip hinge, and then both arms are coming up at the same time for a row, thinking about pulling those shoulder blades together. Set up. Recruit that transverse abdominis, your TA, and that's by drawing the belly button in or pretending someone's sucker punching you. And that's really going to give some protection to the low back in this hinged position. Anyways, dumbbells are great because they work the joint, create some stability into it. And then they also work each arm independently, right? Because like we were talking about the legs, one being stronger than the other, quite often the arm is the same way. So now each side has to work on its own. Woo, baby. This is heavy. Last one. Root to stand. Woo. All right, I want you to grab your lights now. They're going to feel really light after these. In a stand, mirror me. This arm's down by your side. This arm's in front. We have a side and front lateral, and then we'll switch directions. Now let's get ourselves set up, knees soft, belly button drawn in or braced. Lift, slowly lower. When we change the arms, I don't want you to turn your body. I used to see this a lot when I taught classes. They would only get away with that for 2 reps before I threw something at them. Usually just a yoga block or Bella's tennis ball. But yeah, we want this to be anti-rotation, so you are locked in here, and then this just becomes a shoulder exercise. Last move, we go back to the chest presses on the ground. One more. Awesome. All right, let's get the lights away. How did the heavies feel last round? You can switch out anytime, all right? You're never married to that pair of dumbbells. Here we go. You can divorce them anytime. Elbows in front of shoulders, wrists straight, and knuckles to the ceiling. And it can be a clean divorce too. Just walk away. Breathe out, press up. Those of you that are newer to my workouts, this exercise here is a great sub if you're doing other workouts and they're doing push-ups and you just don't feel like doing a push-up. Sometimes it doesn't work for our wrists, our elbows, our shoulders, or we just don't want to do the damn thing. Then load yourself up and do a chest press. Awesome. All right. Come to stand. Whew. Again, whatever weight feels best for you. We are hinged forward, so if you started to feel your low back, and we're really working on recruiting your abs, and you still felt your low back, bring it down to a lighter weight, okay? Here we go. Hip hinge, belly button drawn in, brace those abs. Now my dumbbells are right beside me. They're not in front of me. They can be in front when they're lighter, but when you're doing heavy lifts, you've got to keep them close to the body, and that places less stress on your low back. I'm supposed to go out for dinner in 40 minutes. Film this workout, change. Woo. Throw on some perfume. And hope nobody notices the sweat on my forehead. Last one. Come to stand. Actually, it's in an hour. I gotta go. All right, front to side raise. Bend your legs to get your dumbbells down there. Very important. Even the light ones. Sometimes we can get cocky with the light ones, and that will still throw our low back out. All right, brace through the abs. 1, 2, 3. One arm side, one arm front. I usually don't go out on a school night. This is exciting. I'm a homebody. I'm a lot of fun to be around, but I also like to be at home. We go out a lot when we travel, and then when we're home, we're home. Nobody in town sees us. Just my tennis club. Which ironically, that's where I'm going, out with them. All right, this is our last round. Okay, chest press. So again, evaluate. Can you go the same weight, or do you want to knock it down? Or could you go a little heavier, knowing that this is our last round? On the bum, dumbbells on the thighs, and back. Elbows in front of shoulders, knuckles to the ceiling, wrists straight. Sorry if I sound like a broken record every workout. There are some of you who have been with me for years. So you've probably heard all these cues a million times, which is good, because you're going to have good form. All right, root to stand, same thing. Evaluate for this final round of our bent over rows. Same weights, maybe a little lighter, maybe a little heavier, okay? You got it figured out? Perfect, let's sit set up. Abs braced, feet hip width, hip hinge, row up. Breathe out as the arms come up. What do you think about an elastic band in between the shoulder blades? And here is lengthening it, and now we're pulling it together. Lengthen, pull it together. 2 more. Last one. Woo! Nice job, you. All right, grab those lights. Remember, use your legs to get your dumbbells down and use your legs to pick the light ones up. Whew. Yeah, this is a big workout, isn't it? I'm proud of you. Thank you for showing up and thank you for staying with me. All right, let's get those shoulders. We'll have water after this, pardon me, and then we're going to change the time again and move into an arms and core finisher. So we're almost home. Well, we are at home, aren't we? Have to find a new metaphor. Ooh. Ooh. I thought no problem I could do 10 pounds. It's getting tough. One more. Whew. All right, you. Like I said, grab some water, all right? Ooh, shake out those arms, shoulders. We're gonna need them for the next series as well. All right, for the core and the arms and shoulders, we are up, down, up, down. So my apologies. We do have 20 seconds though to get ourselves set up, so that's great. Our work time's decreased though, it's 30 seconds. So we're starting with a plank. We're gonna add a plank up, all right, so that we work into the triceps and shoulders. If that doesn't work for you, you'll just hold a modified plank. Then from there, we'll come into a stand. So let's get ourselves set up for the plank. So we've got, as I mentioned, the option of just staying in the modified plank. So let's get in that modified plank so we know what that is right away. We're on the knees, elbows under shoulders, wrists lined up with elbows. And here is our modified plank. So we can hang here, love and life, okay? Or if you decide, you know what, I want to stay on the knees, but maybe try the plank up. And then we plank up, and then we plank up leading with the other arm. So we're going to alternate sides. We can also come off of those knees right away. If you're off the knees, let's get the feet about mat width so that we don't rock through the hips. Try to plant that wrist right underneath the shoulders. That's going to make those triceps work harder. This is tough, so again, you got that option to stay in a plank. Whew. All right, come to a stand with your moderate dumbbells. Combining bicep curl to a shoulder press. So it's a complex, 2 moves. All right, 30 seconds of work. Dumbbells down by your side, curl up, press up, release. Good, now I want you to draw that belly button in, brace those abs. Perfect. Now if that's too much, because the moderate weight is heavy, then we alternate. Why one side gets a little bit more work. If you have a history of back pain, do one side at a time. Reason being, you could have tight thoracic spine and pressing up above the head, it's gonna make that low back not feel good. Time. All right, gonna get into a plank position. Once again, I'm gonna start modified and then move up. We're going plank to side plank, plank to other side plank. Let's start on the knees. Plank position. Great, now rotate towards me. Top leg straightens, hips stacked. Come back, rotate away from me. Top leg straighten, hips stacked. Great, come off of the knees if you'd like. And rotate and back. So a couple options there for you. One more. Beautiful. One heavy dumbbell, just one. Lying down, holding onto it end to end. Working triceps, skull crusher. The post is coming to the head, hence the name, skull crusher, and come back up. Now let's add a little bit of stretch in the tricep by letting the hands float back a bit. So now the post is going to come more to the top of the head. So our last move, we're going to go through these guys one more time, and then we're done. You want to feel the muscle behind the arms. If you're not, hey, let's get heavier weights. Whew, beautiful. All right, dumbbell down. We're in that modified plank. Remember, you have the option just to stay there if you don't want to do the plank up. I always want to give you lots of choices because I never know how you're going to feel today. So there you go. 3, 2, 1, knees or toes, stay here or join me. We're trying to plank that hand right underneath the shoulders. Feet are apart. I'm trying to keep my hips quiet so they're not rocking a ton side to side. My gaze is at the top of my mat. Pressing up. Last one. Beautiful. Moderate weights, curl to press. We're in that stand. Once again, if you have a history of low back pain, it might be due to a tight thoracic spine, and doing overhead presses is really going to throw it out. So if that's you, hey, let's try one arm. See how you feel. One thing I've learned through the years is your pain is never just localized, or the issue isn't localized where the pain is. We got to look at you holistically. It's usually generating more above, right? So it's very rare I would get low back pain, for instance, and there'd be something wrong behind my knee or in my ankle. All right, plank to side plank. It's usually top down. So always see a physiotherapist if something's starting to bug you. Nip it in the bud real quick. Here we go. Forearms. You can stay here, and then we rotate, and just that one arm is straight. The hips are stacked over on the toes. Feet are apart, so we just literally rock onto inside foot, outside foot of the other leg. One more. Beautiful. All right. Skull crushers, and then we're done. Oh my gosh, feels like a lifetime ago we were doing the jump squats, doesn't it? Here we go. We're on our backs. Heavy dumbbell, holding it end to end. We straighten the arms so they're directly above the shoulders, and then I want you to float the dumbbell a little over, or a little past the head, pardon me. Bend the elbows. Post comes towards the top of the head. Don't let go of the dumbbell. Woo! Time! Woo-hoo! Nicely done, you. All right. Why don't we roll over, and we'll start by stretching the triceps. Big toes together, knees apart, elbows on ground. Sit yourself back. Let your hands come down into the upper back area. Walk your elbows forward more for more of a stretch. Let's release the arms. Walk the hands to your left. Right hand on top of left. Right hip presses away. Lengthening the side of the body into the lats. Hands to the other side. Now left hand on top of right. Left hip presses away. Come on up. Fingers spread. Turn the fingertips to the knees. Palms flat to the ground. Tuck the toes under and then just sit back a bit until you feel the bottom of the palm start to lift off. Keep those arms straight, stretching into the forearm, the flexors in particular, and then a bit into the hand as well. So these guys were working the entire workout, gripping onto the dumbbells. Let's just release them a bit. This is great if you've ever been plagued with tennis or golfer's elbow. All right, we're going to pull the hands off the mat with the tips of the fingers the last to pull. Take it nice and slow. Really press into the hands as you pull back. Many of us have quite tight hands. That was really easy for me to say, wasn't it? Oh, Lordy. Lie on your side. Top heel to bum. Knee presses back. Feel the quadricep. So thanks for sticking it out with me on the longer workout. I had a lot of fun programming this one, and I wanted to give you a lot of variety and exercises that's helped improve our power and our strength. To release it, you can roll over onto your side. I'm going to flip over, but we've got the other heel to the bum. Release, have a seat. If you have tight hips, elevating your hips really helps. So it can be that yoga block or a pillow. I don't know about you, but I really can't fit my bum on a yoga block. Whenever I go to yoga and they say that to me, I'm like, yeah, okay. I need something a bit bigger. Here we go, hands behind and press forward, feeling it in the hamstrings. I'm sure my butt would fit on that in a pinch, but I would rather have something with a little bit more girth to it. Feeling this in the hamstrings, possibly even in the low back. We can press ourselves forward even more. All right, in a seated position, and that can be in a chair if being down here on the ground is not agreeing with you. We just have one more stretch to do. Interlace the hands, place them behind the head, open the elbows up, lift the gaze and the collarbone up to the ceiling. So we're stretching into the front of the body now. Maybe add some spinal extension as well. And release. We did it! Hey, drop a comment down below. I would love to know what you thought of the workout. And thank you again for joining me. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.